Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We're in the Inland Empire. Today we're joined by Gloria Negrete-McLeod. She is a trustee with the Chaffey Community College District in San Bernardino County. And I congratulate 800 graduates of Chaffey Community College. You just had a graduation ceremony. Talk to us about those 800. I'm sure you met some of them. Tell us about them.
Well, it was the largest class that we'd ever had.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know
yes,
that. Oh,
yes.
Congrats on that.
It was the largest class that we'd ever had. You know, that was one of the reasons that the Aspen Institute had looked at Chaffey, because of our growing rate of students and a growing rate of graduates.
And let's talk about the Aspen Institute. It is the organization, it's kind of the Oscars of the community college system. And you must be very proud that this year the Aspen Institute named Chaffey a top 10 community college in the entire nation.
That is
entire
correct.
nation, out of 10,000, the entire nation. Yeah. A proud moment. And I remember part of the reason they gave you that honor is because Chaffey has been so effective in educating students of color.
That's right. As the student became a Hispanic Learning Institute.
Right, HLI, right.
It started to grow. You know, when I went to Chaffey, it was not that way.
This was San Bernardino County of the 20th century.
Well, that's when I used a rock to go and
exactly, the Flintstones.
Yes,
right.
yes. But now that we are a Hispanic Learning Institution, they had looked at us and saw how we integrate the students, and we make sure that they get out, and how we graduate them.
And you are graduating them at a very significant rate. And that's really the key. And the Aspen Institute was very clear on that. I remember reading the release. It was very clear on the matriculation of these students to Chaffey and then the ultimate graduation rates. If I remember, I feel like it was 10 points higher than other HLIs. I think
In fact, the one that won the Aspen Institute in Florida has less students than we graduated.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, you know, top 10's still great. And maybe in a few years you'll be a winner for sure. But let's go back to the grads. I mean, obviously you can't meet all 800 of them. But,
well, we did on that day.
Did you handing out diplomas?
No, the President Shannon hands out the diplomas.
But you were there.
But we were there.
So what was your sense of them? Do you know, are many of them moving on to maybe Cal State San Bernardino, or are they taking their AA and moving to a career?
No, they're going to all different institutions across the nation, in California, Berkeley, San Bernardino,
UCR,
UCLA seems to be the big thing.
Which is wonderful.
USC, everywhere. They're going everywhere.
And what's so nice about schools like Chaffey and others is that when these students, if they so decide to go to a four-year, they're ready. I mean, they are getting a top-notch education at Chaffey, maybe Riverside Community College. I mean, the community colleges in this region are really pumping out, if I can say, just top-notch students that are ready for the next level.
That's good.
I want to speak with you about community college funding as well. And the reason I want to talk to you about it is because you have a long history in the political arena. You were in Sacramento as an assemblywoman and or senator when the state budget was an absolute calamity. And so in 2011, were you in the Senate or Assembly then?
Senate.
You were in the Senate then, so you know this. In 2011, the funding for K-14 was 58% less than it is today. I mean, that's how much our economy has turned around, that we are up 58% in a short 6 years for K-14.
When they set up the funding system, I really don't understand why they included community college and not a separate issue with a K-12. And so the funding was supposed to be minimum 11% of the budget.
Right.
And it's never reached there. It's gotten pretty close, but it's never, and so many people use that as a ceiling rather than, that was the minimum. But that was long before my time.
But I wonder though, if the community college system ultimately benefits from being lumped with K-12, because, then let me talk it through if I can. Governor Brown has been very clear that he has wanted to restore funding levels for public education when the economy turned around. And he's been very focused on K-12/14. You know, the higher education institutions, they're in a different bucket. So I wonder if in the end it's been to your advantage, the community college system's advantage.
I suppose you could say, I guess it's whether you view the glass half empty or half full.
Exactly. So how is it then? because I think you entered the community college board for the second time, right?
That's correct.
In 2016? 16?
No,
14?
2015.
15, okay, 15.
It was an
right.
odd year
Right,
election.
2015. So the economy was just
Starting
turning
to
around,
move.
and funding was starting to return. So are the sections now back? Are kids not having to go to 3 different institutions just to graduate? And
Well, during the hard times, I wasn't there, but
Right.
Chaffey did not lay off a single person at the college. So that meant that they were trying to maintain the classes. We've got all kinds of classes, and of course we have the main campus, which is in
Right.
Rancho, and then
Right.
we have another campus, which is in Chino, and another campus, which is in Fontana, which allows the district to go to different areas.
I want to get a sense from you about the future of Chaffey, because as you know, there are about 15 institutions that are part of a pilot program that where they are allowed, they can provide a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, Chaffey was not part of that.
Chaffey, and I think by design, Chaffey did not apply at that time. 36 institutions applied. I don't think Chaffey was one of them, but as I understand it, the program has been pretty successful. And we know, for example, in this region generally, Rio Honda, I mean, just on the other side of the LA County line, they have a 4-year degree for automotive technology. We also know Cypress College, also not far on the Orange County side, mortuary science. Antelope Valley College, also not far, airframe manufacturing technology. So is Chaffey starting to look towards
We
that?
haven't talked about that in the board as a part of a board. But if that's something that the board decides that's what we want to do, then we'd have to apply.
Right, because it does feel as if that we're getting to a place that given, look, there's no doubt that the UC system and the CSU system, as fine as they are severely impacted. They can't take all the students that they want to take. And so in the end, given how strong the community colleges have been, it seems like it's a natural place to continue to offer 4-year degrees. I mean, a 4-year degree is a 4-year degree.
Depends on which degree it would be in.
Right.
What kind of degree it would be.
And that presents the other challenge, because under the pilot program, as you know, there can be no duplication. And I think that's part of the reason why Chaffey may have stepped back with any UC or CSU degree. So for example, nursing has been an incredibly popular major. We are completely impacted, but no community college can offer a nursing degree because it's duplicated. What about the adult school front? I know that also has been kind of in the background.
We are not doing that as much anymore. They're doing what they do, success centers, to help students along. But there was, a great big fight between the...
You were there,
yeah,
right,
during
in
that time,
Sacramento.
yeah.
And how about our veterans? Because that's another area where I know community colleges have been keen to really try to serve vets in the most...
We do have a veteran center, and we do work with the veterans to make sure that they complete their education.
And are we seeing them graduating at rates as well as, for
You know
example,
that-
HLI?
That's something I did not ask. I'll have to ask.
So, school's going to start in a few months. What would you say to someone who's looking at Chaffey College? It may be a senior who's just graduated. What would you say to them?
Community college is your best bet. It's much cheaper to go to community college, get your general education out of the way, and then go ahead on to the other school where you're going to pay a whole lot more.
You speak the truth. Maybe $1,500 a semester for community college, whereas at CSU, UC, $7,000, $12,000. Her name is Gloria Negrete-McLeod. She is a trustee with the Chaffey Community College District in San Bernardino County. I'm Brad Pomerance on Local Edition.